The first story I wanted to share with you tonight is actually a video clip that has gone viral just in the past few hours. And I feel like if you haven't seen this yet, you're going to see this really soon. But let me give you the gist of it right now. The video clip shows a pastor calling on the congregation to donate money. And that in itself is not that weird. They do that all the time. But in this case, the preacher tells the ushers in the building to shut the doors and not let anybody out unless they pay up. Let me play you the clip that you may have seen versions of online, or you will see versions of, and then we'll talk about what the hell is going on here.
There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. Now, everyone up here, we've all sowed and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Keep coming, that's it. Let's look at us, look at us, look at us. Yeah, now after you come up here, you can open the doors. Y'all can walk out the door after you come up here. But make sure you come this way before you go out the door. That's it. Look at God. Look at what God has done. Hallelujah.
Yikes. So that has been going viral on TikTok, on Instagram for about a day now. And that sermon, here's the weird thing. That's not a new sermon. That was actually delivered on July 23rd, 2024. It was at the 109th Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Convention, PawCon, in Baltimore, Maryland. And the guy you saw right there is a guy named Bishop Marvin L. Sapp. And he's actually, if you look at his Wikipedia page and you look at his resume, he's actually a very accomplished gospel music singer. He has like lots of Grammy nominations. He literally a few weeks ago performed a Tiny Desk concert for NPR. So this guy is very famous in the music world. And he also happens to moonlight as a preacher. So he was like the keynote speaker the night of that convention. And as you heard in that clip, he encouraged everyone, including the religious leaders on stage, to donate various amounts of money. He told the people, the 1,000 or so people in the audience, to give $20. He told the preachers behind him, the other church leaders behind him, to give $100. And he said, if the 1,000 people in the audience give $20 and the 1,000 people watching this online streaming give $20, that right there is $40,000 at least. And again, that part is grifty, but it's not unusual. What was unusual is the shut the doors, close the doors until you give. And not only that, as you are giving, even if you are giving money by phone, he wants you to come up on stage and make a motion as if you are giving physically so that everyone knows you are donating. So this guy, like, I guess Jesus doesn't know how to see if you're using Apple Pay somehow. So the reactions to this clip were decidedly anti-hostage, believe it or not. People did not like the idea that this preacher was telling people you're not allowed to leave the room until you pay up. I want to show you a couple of the tweets that amused me here. This is one. Let's see if I could share this. Where did it go? There we go. Marvin Sapp would have saw the worst in me. Fuck out of here. There was also, I enjoyed this one. Marvin Sapp would be getting Marvin slapped if he held me hostage for money when he could go in the studio and make my annual salary in a couple months. That ain't the work of the Lord. And there was also this interesting comment. Marvin Sapp was on Tiny Desk with full Louis Vuitton outfit on. Maybe you should stop being basically wearing luxury goods and put that back into your church instead of holding your members for ransom. And that's just a small sprinkle of these sort of pushback this guy has gotten online, but for good reason. Other people mock the whole thing. If you search on TikTok, Marvin Sapp, you're going to find people doing skits about this, making fun of him. Great memes everywhere. Another thing that I saw is that this guy's Instagram account is still up. He hasn't shut it down yet. And if you scroll through his Instagram, this is the picture you're going to find somewhere on there. I don't know. Probably not a great look when people are mad at you for trying to coerce people into giving you money. I'm not sure that's the car you want behind you. I'm not sure that's the coat you want to be wearing. But what do I know, right? This dude's Instagram is still up. I don't get it. So to be clear, what he said, close the doors, don't ushers, don't let people out unless they pay. That is more of a rhetorical flourish than an actual improvised fire hazard. There is no evidence people were actually barred from leaving the room before they donated money. But you can understand how all of that is extremely coercive and potentially scary in some ways. Like, he didn't just want people to give money. He wanted them to do it visibly. Again, he wasn't even satisfied if you just sat on your phone and donated electronically. He wanted you to come on stage and make a little donation motion so everyone else could see it, because peer pressure is the best way for church leaders to get more money, right? So this has gone viral. And yesterday, Marvin Sapp went on Facebook to respond to it. Mind you, again, it has been about 9 months since this sermon actually happened, but it's only making the rounds now. But this is what this guy was saying on Facebook. You can see response. Let's add context to the clip on social media. And he says, recently a clip has gone viral, ... let's start at the first line. Let's add context. I showed you the context. He wanted money. He wanted to raise money for this organization, whatever. There's no context that makes what he did look any better. But look at the highlighted bit here. Some have taken issue with the particular moment when I instructed the ushers rather firmly to close the doors during the offering. To those unfamiliar with the church context, or who may not regularly attend worship gatherings, this has been misinterpreted as holding people hostage, as well as offensive. That was never my intent. Great. I'm so glad he didn't actually want to hold people hostage, and he just pretended to for shits and giggles. The truth is, when finances are being received in any worship gathering, it's one of the most vulnerable and exposed times for both the finance and security teams. Listen, if your idea of gathering money involves teams, you're not doing a church service, you're doing a heist. Movement during this sacred exchange, where you pay me, can be distracting and at times even risky. My directive was not about control. It was about creating a safe, focused, and reverent environment for those choosing to give and for those handling the resources. Bullshit. He told the ushers to shut the door, not so the security guards would be safe, but so that you knew you can't get out of here unless you give me enough money. What are you talking about? It's this sacred exchange when you throw your money at me. It's risky for who? The only people at risk are the poor people in that audience who are there because they believe God's going to help them and who are now being told, if you don't give me enough money, you're never leaving this place alive. Unfortunately, Sapp says, in the social media age, snippets are easily shared without context, and assumptions are quickly made without understanding the full picture. No, again, I played you nearly a 2-minute clip, which is longer than most of the clips I've seen online. You saw the context. It is not better. He says conferences have budgets, churches have budgets, people have budgets. As the assigned ministerial gift for this international gathering, one of my responsibilities was to help raise the conference budget. That's not manipulation, it's stewardship. Here's a thought. If your conference has a budget, charge people more to attend. That's how you don't have to lure them in and then open up their pockets to steal cash from them. Just charge more. Yeah, that means you're going to shut some people out. But if money is that important to you because you can't afford it otherwise, you do it upfront and honestly. You don't wait till people are inside the building and then say, hey, everyone, seal the doors. They can't get out now. It's common sense at this point. And by the way, the rest of what he says is, let me show you some biblical stuff here. I'm going to read to you from the Bible as if that makes it better. I like this aspect right here. So when someone challenges people to give a specific amount, it is not unbiblical. It is not manipulation. It is an order. It is consistent with Scripture. Because I'm sure you all remember when Jesus, put everyone inside of a building and said, empty your pockets or I'm going to get you. What the hell is this guy talking about? There is no rationale for what he did other than it was a really dumb decision. And none of these people have the ability to just say, you know what, I screwed up. I thought it was cute and funny. It wasn't. Just say that. Just say you did something stupid. Because again, I'm trying to think of who's actually going to be hurt by this. Imagine if there is someone there who didn't have the money. Some old lady who shows up at that conference who didn't bring her wallet with her. What is she supposed to think about this? What about people who have actually been trapped in buildings? I don't know what the joke is when you say shut the doors, close the doors until you have until you pay up. But again, I want to be clear. I'm plenty familiar with church context, as he puts it. Telling ushers to shut the doors is not a misinterpretation. It wasn't a joke. He was pressuring people to give if they were hesitant. And peer pressure is a way to do that. And shutting the doors until you do it is peer pressure. And he even, if you heard it in the clip, he said something like, where else are you going to go? All of you are going to a restaurant after this, implying you don't have anywhere important to be, so you might as well give me the money you have instead of spending it at the next place you're going to go to. Nothing about this was, quote, safe, focused, and reverent. Everything was about manipulation. Nothing about this is biblical. So look, most televangelists know that you just have to guilt trip people into handing over their credit card number. You can tell them their biblical miracles will never happen unless they give to you, or that God needs you to sow a seed and then he'll reimburse you whatever you gave and then some. They'll just lie about it. They'll just say, give me money and Jesus is going to thank you for helping our ministry. I have seen a pastor directly tell his congregation to hand over their checking account information and their bank routing number so that his church could just take money directly from people's accounts. But at least they're upfront about the grift. I've never seen a pastor say, all right, seal the doors. None of you are getting out of here unless you give me your credit card. That's a new level of coercive Christianity right there. I was looking to see if there were any examples of this, and the closest thing I could find, not shutting the doors, but there is a preacher named Creflo Dollar. His last name is actually Dollar, who about a decade ago, and you can find articles about this online, he asked not 2,000 people to give $20 each, like this guy did. He asked 200,000 people to give him $300 each because he really wanted to buy a $60 million private jet. And even that guy did not shut the doors on his congregation. He just said right up front, I need a multi-million-dollar jet and I need you to pay for it. So gimme. But this guy wants to seal everyone inside. So anyway, love that clip. You'll be seeing it a lot more if you haven't seen it already. Marvin Sapp was already trending on Twitter, I think, and other social media outlets earlier this afternoon. I'm sure he's going to be doing it even more in the days to come. I'm going to stop there for now. What questions we got here? Oh, thanks for that donation, Lady Merlin. I want to see Christians flipping tables when stuff like this happens. Then I'll believe they're following Christ. Now, see, if you flip the tables and the doors are sealed, now no one can get out of there. And what happens if there's a fire hazard? Everyone's screwed. Look what God did. I saw a man asking for money, not God. That's right. And all of these people claim to speak for God. The funniest part of that clip, and I think I showed a little bit of it, is Sapp turns around to the other religious leader standing on stage, and he's like, you guys don't have to give $20. You have to give $100, which again, proportionally, $100 for wealthy people is nothing. $20 to people who are not preachers in that context is a lot of money. So turning around and saying, pastors have to give $100, you're not actually making your case any better. This is just a dude trying to get money from everybody. As you say, it's not God telling people how much to give. In some states, if you feel you're unable to leave, even if you physically are, that's considered entrapment. That is a fair question about, can any laws be applied? Because, again, I want to be clear, there is no evidence I have seen that ushers actually barred people from leaving or sealed the doors shut so people could not leave. And I wonder if a dude making a joke about it, or at least saying that, counts as anything. Because I don't think he broke any laws. He was unethical, but he didn't do anything criminal. But I do wonder if anyone is suggesting he actually crossed a line that he couldn't have. Have tithes been tariffed too? That would be hilarious if Trump puts a tariff on tithes and then they have to become more expensive and everyone has to pay it and they don't realize it because they think tariffs are something other people pay.